Brother Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis, time has come for the world to recognize this is one of the top 5 fighters on the planet.
What do you want to see him fight next?
Shakur Stevenson, fabulous boxer. The punch, I don't think he could take a punch from Gervonta Davis. Yeah. I don't see it. Gervonta Davis might be the best in the world. He can punch. He's a knockout artist. He can box. He's not given enough credit for it, okay? He closes. He finishes. Once he smells blood, he's like a shark in blood-infested waters, Molly. He will finish you, okay? And by the way, he is an elite boxer.
Stephen A. Smith mocked Shakur Stevenson for delaying the contract against Gervonta Davis. He said Shakur has no real chance of beating Tank, praising Davis as the stronger and more dangerous fighter who earns much more respect in boxing.
For legitimate fight purposes, Gervonta Davis, to me, is the #1 attraction in boxing. He's the #1 attraction in boxing. He will finish you. Yeah. He will close. And this brother comes, and he's one of those guys. They call him, the mini Mike, as a Mike Tyson. Yeah. He's willing to take a punch to give it now. Yeah. And I haven't seen him hurt. He got bruised. Yep. He might have bruises, but I ain't seen nobody wobble him. I ain't seen anybody hurt.
Gervonta Davis has continued criticizing Shakur Stevenson, saying his defensive style is boring and lacks punching power. Davis claims Shakur does not entertain fans and believes his approach in the ring fails to create the excitement people want to see.
135 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 126.30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you, all that's just okay.
Rolly Romero also shared his view, saying Shakur Stevenson would struggle badly against Gervonta Davis. He stated that Shakur still has not defeated enough top-level opponents to prove he can handle a fighter like Tank. Romero added that Davis owns the strongest resume in the 135-pound division.
It's a better resume than Tank at 135. Loma retired, active.
Shakur before he moved on?
Shakur has a better resume.
At 130.
Who has Shakur beat?
But who's Tank really like? Other than that,
everyone Tank's beat became world champion. So tell me, that electrician dude was a good win at 35.
The electrician. What you want about?
Who he beat? Name me 3 Shakur opponents.
I think Shakur, bro. But when you look at Tank, all right. So tell me.
Oscar Valdez, that had his jaw broken in 2018, that's been burnt out and off the juice for a while now.
So who's Tank's best win? Who's Tank's best win?
There's plenty of them.
Who's Tank's best win?
We all became world champion after.
Fair enough, son.
Rolly Romero also spoke about Gervonta Davis and his recent issues, saying people outside the situation do not fully understand what he is dealing with. Romero showed support for Tank and said he hopes to see him back soon doing what he does best in the ring.
For me, it's sad, but Gervonta Tank Davis can't stay out of trouble. I know he's been bailed out, but just your thoughts on the whole thing?
Just because his stuff went public, everyone done gone into some trouble, you know? Just, I mean, like I said, when you're the big fish, you know, all you gotta do is just keep to yourself, man, in reality. But like I said, at the end of it, we don't know what truly happened or any of that stuff. They could all say whatever, you know, there's 2 sides to every single story.
We'll see him return?
Yeah, I want to see Gervonta Davis. Bro, he's one of the most entertaining fighters in boxing.
Is he still as good as, I mean, if you look at the resume, no win in 18 months, etc., is he still as good? Can he still hang?
He only fought once in 18 months.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, dude, I'm
saying activity's important in this game.
Okay, well, I mean, he tried to fight, but I mean, things happen, you know?
Against Jake Paul, Rolly.
The what?
Against Jake Paul, though.
Yeah, but so what, man? So what, man?
You part of the Tank fan club, that's fair.
What?
You're in the Tank fan club.
Bro, I like Tank, bro. Tank's a great fighter, bro. Dude, they all want to talk bad about Tank, but man, dude, then everyone take beat ended up becoming world champion later.
Mike Tyson gave a strong opinion, saying Gervonta Davis is the one fighter who can defeat Shakur Stevenson. He praised Tank's power, sharp timing, and aggressive style, believing those skills could overcome Shakur's defense.
Great fighter. He is a great fighter. You know, especially when he's serious about it. You know, I don't know if he's as serious as he used to be. When he was serious, he was a hell of a fighter. And nobody came close. He's the only one I gave a chance against Shakur and that guy, Keyshawn Davis, they're scary fighters too. They're sophisticated. The other guys are sophisticated and mean. But Tank is just a force of nature. You know, you just gotta give him the credit. You know, even though he's talking stuff, he's the man. Shakur and Tank, oh God, I don't even. Ooh, it's gonna be interesting because if Shakur handles this guy like he did Lopez, I was in hell with him. I was in hell with Shakur there. If he just handles this guy like he did, I was in hell with him. Somebody gotta give him a fight though, but you gotta be very sophisticated to know how to fight. This is when I know you lost against Shakur. This is when I know you lost. You see when he does this stuff? Once you start doing this stuff and looking at him, oh, it's over.
Mike Tyson said a matchup between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis would be exciting to watch. He explained that Shakur does not need knockout power to win because his boxing skills, movement, and point scoring could outwork Tank. Tyson also said Davis is the kind of fighter who would bring out Shakur's best performance.
Who would win out of Shakur and Gervonta?
Yeah. Gervonta Davis?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. I like to go with Tank because of the, everyone's gonna go with Tank, but it would be a very interesting fight.
How could, for us that are not boxing analysts, how could Shakur beat him if he can't hurt him? That would be my question.
Listen, you don't have to hurt him, you just have to outscore him. Shakur takes a good shot though. He's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in, because he's so superior. And it's boring watching sometimes. But he's a specialist. He knows what he's doing. He's hard to beat.
So when the speed picks up and the aggression starts,
to bring out the best in Shakur, you gotta pressure him like Tank. Tank will bring out the best of him, and we'll see a great fight. Tank is just a monster right now.
Stephen A. Smith said he wants Gervonta Davis to move up to 140 pounds and face tougher opponents. He brought up fighters like Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Shakur Stevenson, saying Tank has the ability to take over the division and build his legacy against top competition.
The mindset that Tank is so much stronger than people realize, so much more powerful of a puncher than people realize. I want to see him up at the 140-pound limit. Don't make a Ryan Garcia come down to 135. Don't have the hydration clause in there. Yeah. Don't avoid, and he's not avoiding anybody. But I'd also like to see him against a Teofimo Lopez.
Eddie Hearn believes Shakur Stevenson is one of boxing's most underrated fighters. He said many fans fail to appreciate his talent because he relies on skill, defense, and ring intelligence rather than knockouts. Hearn added that Shakur's timing, control, and technique make him very hard to beat at the top level.
I think Shakur is massively underrated in terms of his achievements and his ability. Everyone in boxing knows how good Shakur is. He is pound for pound, top 5 in terms of quality. But look at the achievements of the young man. At 28 years of age, he's already a 3-division world champion. This is to become a 4-division world champion.
Roy Jones Jr. praised Shakur Stevenson as possibly the top fighter in the 135 and 140 divisions. He pointed to Shakur's footwork, defense, and sharp technique as major strengths. Jones added that fighters who cannot handle movement and ring intelligence will have a very hard time against him.
You understand, defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game. Mm-hmm. So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You got to cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem with. Once he learns that or figures that out, he gonna be a killer.
Would the skill he has now make him the best out of them 4?
Right now, no. Because some people gonna say, boy, and the reason the rest of them don't want to fight him is because they know he know that back foot game so well that he's not going to engage until he wants to engage. Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing too. But for the fans and to be
not right now,
the ratings, you got to be able to engage when they need you to engage. Mm-hmm. If you can't, then you're gonna become bored. So he's not boring unless you don't understand boxing.
Right.
You understand boxing, he's not bored.
Turki Alashik is reportedly prioritizing big-name boxing events as global interest in major fights continues to grow. His focus appears to be shifting toward high-profile matchups involving British stars like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. This change in direction could affect fighters such as Shakur Stevenson, as it may reduce opportunities for tune-up fights before stepping into elite-level competition.
Was getting paid by Turki Al-Sheikh and the Saudis, and then he switched over to Paramount Plus, right? And acted like he was going to do both at the same time. Well, with the war in Iran, he can't do either. So that means both of them are up in the air. Now, what does that mean for real fighters? It's okay for real fighters. It's going to work out for just fine for Shakur Stevenson. It's going to work out just fine for guys like Devin Haney, and provided Devin doesn't go over to Zuffa. It's going to turn out fine for those guys, as long as they can actually win the fights that they get put.
Instead, fighters are expected to be fast-tracked into high-level opponents where they have to prove themselves right away. In earlier eras, stars like Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terrence Crawford gradually built their way up to blockbuster fights over time. However, that long-term build-up approach may no longer be as common in today's boxing landscape.
They're going to have to actually fight these tough fights, and they're not going to be able to have 5-6 setup fights before you get to it. Because that's the game that I believe Shakur was playing. Because that's the game that Floyd Mayweather played. That's the game that Terrence Crawford played, where they would take 3, 4, 5 fights before the actual big fight that people are talking about took place. That's what happened with Floyd and Manny Pacquiao. That happened with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Some people, it was both Errol and Terrence that did it. No, whatever. Still, both guys did it, then both guys took several fights before that took place, right? Big fights with money, good money in them. So Shakur now can't do that. Cannot do that. Number one, Matchroom Boxing, who was really running DAZN, let's be honest. Matchroom Boxing, which runs DAZN, because Matchroom actually is owned. Matchroom USA is actually owned in part by DAZN and by Sella, who is the Turkey people. They're going to be putting their resources and their efforts into British fighters. The Tyson Fury fight that they want to make with Anthony Joshua, if they can find some way to get that done. That's what they're going to be looking for. They're not going to be looking at the fighters that they had on undercards. It's just that simple. Shakur Stevenson was fighting on undercards for these guys. Devin Haney is fighting on undercards for these guys. Right? Keyshawn Davis fighting on undercards for these guys. Pretty much everybody that was at Top Rank fighting on undercards for these guys. They're not going to prioritize the undercard fight.
If Shakur Stevenson wants to secure the biggest fights and highest earnings, he may have to take those opportunities sooner and under more straightforward conditions, without long delays or extended buildups.
At the end of the day, the money is there for Shakur, but the money's going to be with Shakur. He's going to have to tuck his pride. James Prince is going to have to tuck his pride and go over there to the PBC, call Steven Espinoza if Al's not there anymore, and get this fight made. You know, and Shakur is somebody that could win the fight. The thing is that is going to be prohibited is that they're not going to allow Shakur to make 4 and 5, 6 different fights and get $1 million, $5 million each, run up $30 million, and then at the end, let's go for the big one. If you're going to get the big one, you're going to get the big one at a price that is a reasonable price, and then if you can win the fight, after that you become the big dog, right? Because you're the ones with the fans. The reason that Gervonta is the fan right now is because he's got the fan. Is the man right now is because he's got the fan.
Many boxing analysts say the fight hasn't happened, yet mainly because of the financial side behind major events. Big matchups only get finalized when the purse split and promotional agreements work for both camps involved. Promoters, broadcasters, and fighters all must align on a deal that ensures strong revenue for everyone. Because of this, money often becomes the deciding factor in whether blockbuster fights get made, even when fan demand is high and the hype is strong.
Boxing business, you get fighters, they go back and forth on Twitter, and they be like, let's fight. You got to put the business in between that, because fighters will be fighting all the time just because they're arguing back and forth. But the business got to make sense. So it's always about the bag. So that's why I feel like Turk Al-Sheikh come in, because he'll say, hey, here go the money, get these fights to happen. That's why I can't believe that Bud have to move up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, and David Benavidez was right there at 168 comfortably. That's why the business of boxing took over. But I respect Shakur for actually saying he want to fight. Where is he at in the 6 fight deal? And where is he at in the 6 fight deal? Is his 3rd fight or something like that with Tank?
It's a good question.
It's early. It might be 2 or 3 fights in.
You sure you're not freestyling?
Shakur Stevenson expressed strong confidence that he would come out on top in the fight, calling it a true clash between the best in the sport. He said that when elite fighters face each other, it is about proving superiority through skill, timing, and boxing IQ. Stevenson added that he fully embraces the challenge, viewing it as a key moment in his career where top-level ability is tested against top-level opposition. He also noted that this kind of high-caliber matchup is exactly what excites fans, and he is ready to demonstrate why he belongs among boxing's very best.
At the end of the day, you and Tank is a fight that should happen. It absolutely should happen, and I believe it will. I mean, you guys are both in charge of your career. I think it's a good style matchup. Like you said, the networks are out of the way. The promoters are out of the way. He's flexible, you're flexible. I don't see why it wouldn't happen.
It's the best versus the best.
Absolutely right.
Let's make the best fight in boxing happen.
And when you guys meet, how does that fight play out?
Man, I ain't gonna give you no game.
You think I'm gonna jump on the phone with Tank right after?
No, I would tell you this. I'm gonna come out victorious.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I stand by.
Okay. That's what you gotta say. You're supposed to say that.
No,
right?
It ain't what I'm supposed to say. It's what I know.
Sean Porter said that despite Gervonta Davis having huge knockout power, he still wouldn't be able to simply overwhelm Shakur Stevenson. He explained that the fight would be more about skill than strength. Porter compared it to the style clash of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, saying elite defense, movement, and ring IQ can shut down raw power. He believes Shakur's timing and ability to avoid clean shots would make things very difficult for Tank. To Diana's view, Davis is always dangerous with one punch, but Stevenson's technical control could help him dictate the pace, win rounds, and frustrate power-based fighters over a full 12-round fight. Porter added that discipline and strategy often matter more than knockout ability, giving Shakur a real chance against even the hardest hitters.
When he come across Shakur Stevenson, I'm going to say it here on the front page, and Tank, I love you, brother, and still would love to talk to you.
100.
But when you get in there with Shakur, it's going to remind me of Deontay Wilder fighting Tyson Fury.
Ooh. Yeah.
Because what you going to do when you come across a motherfucker you can't knock out? Yeah. Only thing you going to do is just get more frustrated.
That's a terrible analogy.
I'm just saying.
Only reason why I'm saying this is a terrible analogy is because Tank Davis. Remember, you've heard Coach Cal say this all the time. He says it's the same thing, and I know exactly what he means. We just waiting on somebody to pull it out of him. You ever hear him say that?
Yeah, yeah.
We got so much. It's just we ain't been able to show it because ain't nobody been able to pull it out of him. We looking forward to the big fights. We looking forward to the big matchups because those are the kind of people that's going to pull it out of him. So with a fight with Shakur, you're going to see this boxing style that you don't usually get from Tank.
Shakur Stevenson said a possible fight with Gervonta Davis would be massive for boxing due to its history, rivalry, and long build-up. He noted it's difficult to talk about too much because the matchup already feels like it's destined to happen. Stevenson believes both fighters are at the top of the division and elite enough that they are bound to meet in the ring. In his opinion, fights of this level only fail to happen if a fighter is not truly ready or runs into setbacks. That he also broke down Davis's abilities, recognizing his knockout power, but saying he is not just a puncher. Stevenson described Tank as smart, experienced, and patient, someone who gradually breaks opponents down as the fight goes on.
Kind of bigger than boxing, I guess you could say, because like the history and like everything that like went on. It's hard to even speak on it just because of the fact that we gotta fight. So at the end of the day,
you feel that's gonna happen?
Yeah, I know it's gonna happen. I mean, I'm the best, he the best. So you got two guys that's the best. How can you not fight? Only way you could not fight if one of them guys ain't like that and somebody go off to lose or somebody take an L. But I think like with both of us, we both fighters that's really good fighters and on that level.
From a boxing standpoint, what makes Tank Tank? We see the power, but it's got to be more than that.
Nah, he's strategic. He's setting guys up. He been boxing since a little kid, just like I've been boxing since a little kid. And you can tell like with the experience. Even with his last fight with Frank Martin, you can see Frank Martin was more so an amateur. Like the experience he got is not on the level of like Tank, and he just took off with experience. He
let him waste his energy, gas him out, and then round 8, okay, it's time to go home.
When would you like to see that fight happen?
Whenever. I think that I'm ready for it, he ready for it, we both in our primes. It can happen next, it can happen next year, it can happen whenever he say, let's.
Steven Espinoza pointed out several missed chances in the career of Gervonta Davis, especially big fights that came close but never happened. He mentioned that Davis was nearly matched with Vasily Lomachenko, but the deal fell apart after Lomachenko withdrew from negotiations. Espinoza also referenced talks involving Shakur Stevenson, noting that Stevenson reportedly wanted a multi-fight arrangement rather than a single bout with Tank. He explained that these differences in negotiations, along with promotional issues, played a major role in delaying what fans saw as dream fights. He added that in boxing, financial structure and contract terms often determine whether elite-level matchups actually get made.
The public. Can you understand why the public is just like, bruh, fight somebody else, fight somebody quote-unquote better, just from the public standpoint? Can you understand that?
Yeah, I certainly get it. And people have a short memory. They tend to forget that, he was very close to fighting Lomachenko, and then Lomachenko pulled out. And there were discussions with Shakur. Shakur wanted a multi-fight deal. He didn't want to do sort of a one-fight deal to fight Tank. So, that doesn't happen. Now, we could revisit Shakur in the future.
What's your take on the whole Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis situation, and why the fight still hasn't been made? Share your thoughts in the comments below.